Good morning, and welcome to my Monday messages. For those of you who are new to this, I'm Rebecca. I'm a homeopath. I'm a QTT practitioner. I'm a holistic health and life coach, a mentor, and just an all-round natural health advocate. So just popping here on a Monday with a thought, something to stimulate us to be able to understand ourselves better and to instigate positive changes that are sustainable and lasting. So today I am talking detoxes or cleanses or diets, however you think of them, because I think for a lot of us, January is a kind of reminder of the need to do that, possibly after the festive season, but also just as a kickstart to the year. And often we make all kinds of promises and resolutions to ourselves that are, if we're really honest, very seldom sustained. And there's lots of reasons for that. But one of the things that I wanted to focus on today was if you are doing any kind of cleanse or detox, then I wanted to encourage some kind of structure to that, however you do it. And for those of you who are following me, you may or may not be aware that I've chosen this year to use my Healy device, my little feedback device, this thing here. And I am using that this year to do a very specific protocol that is a group of programs on Healy called Deep Cycle Harmonics. And I'm sharing little tips that come from that, if you like, because I want to encourage as many people as possible to understand that if we are going to choose to clean house, to really have a good look at our systems and invite some kind of cleaning and elimination of any toxins that might be hanging around, and that's both physically and emotionally, then we need to actually understand a bit more about how our bodies work, number one, and also to understand ourselves on an individual level and what areas may need support, may need additional nourishment, and may need slowing down. The whole thing may need to be slowed down. And the lovely thing about this set of programs is that although I've chosen to do it as a collective with quite a large group of people, actually I think there's nearly 1,000 of us internationally that are doing this program, and the community around it is just fantastic. It's just so supportive, and there is a structure there, and we're encouraged to go at our own pace. So it's there, but we don't have to follow that if we don't want to. For me, I love it because we're encouraged to think about linking or synchronizing with the natural world. And that's where most of these frequencies come from, actually. The guy who designed these frequencies is very much in tune with the natural energetic frequencies that we all resonate with subconsciously and consciously, some of us, on a daily basis. So actually doing this detox program in conjunction with the moon cycle over the next 28 days, that's one way to be linked in with the natural cycles. Also, though, for me, linking in with when we're supporting things like very specific organs, we're working with the traditional Chinese medicine organ clock. So we're choosing to do things like kidney harmony, which is one of the things we did yesterday. We're doing that at the optimum time for the kidneys, which in Chinese medicine is between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. So yeah, 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 5 o'clock in the evening. So, and then if we were doing the lungs, which we were previously on a previous day, then the optimum time for that is actually really early in the morning, ideally getting up between 3 and 5 a.m. I didn't quite manage that, but that's okay. We just do it as soon as we get up. So linking all of that in, but also the order of the programs really makes sense to me, because this is what I've been advocating for years when we're using homeopathy for a good cleanse or a detox or anything. Actually, we're looking at the preparation of the soil first. We're understanding that some kind of priming needs to be done. So just to kind of look at the soil and go, okay, where am I sensitive? Where am I already reacting or or responding in a sensitive way, a way that might manifest as allergies or might manifest as a pattern of dis-ease that's continuing and constantly comes up. So just settling the nervous system and preparing that soil is the first stage of this cleansing program. Then we're going, first of all, only one program a day, and then slowly introducing more. We're going at a pace that allows us to, first of all, have clarity over what's going on, because that's an important part of this. If you're doing any kind of cleanse, what can we learn from that cleanse? What can we learn about ourselves and the way that the different parts of us are working together or communicating? So that clarity is one thing. And the next thing is that if we feel, well, actually, that particular program I felt a lot from, and I feel I'd like to repeat it, then we can do that. As long as we're following the loose structure, because that's very well put together. And as I say, totally in line with how I teach homeopathy when we're learning, how to use remedies for things like this. And that is always understanding how well we are able to eliminate toxins or rubbish or any kind of build-up of stuff that shouldn't be there. How are our organs of elimination? Are they actually functioning? Are they firing on all cylinders? Because if we're cleaning house, we're sweeping rubbish around and all the windows and doors are shut and there's no bins, then where do we put the rubbish? It can't go anywhere. It just has to be swept from room to room, and then dust starts flying everywhere, and that room you thought was clean isn't actually clean because you've had to shunt more rubbish into it. So I hope that analogy makes sense. Basically, our routes of elimination, our lungs, our kidneys, our lymph system, our liver, big one, and our bowels, our gut, the way that we digest things. And that's actually a program that I'm going to be coming on to later on this morning for the first time, is a program called Digest All. And that's very much focusing on how we are at digesting or processing physically, but also emotionally. What is there that's hanging around that we're not really resolving, that is continuing to be an issue for us? And how can we just move that on if it needs to be moved on? Or how can we access resources that are going to help us transform that energy into something that's more supportive and more positive for us? So I suppose my message today is to really look at, when you're doing whatever you're doing for January, first of all, look at why you're doing it. What is it you actually want from doing this diet or this cleanse or this, cutting this out or adding that in? Is that going to be sufficient to actually enable you to feel differently? to affect positive, any positive changes that you want. What do you want from doing this thing, whatever it is? So really get clear about why you're doing it. What do you want to feel that's different from how you're feeling now? And I suppose crucially, are you able to sustain any positive changes that you experience for longer than just January? Do you really want to be back in the same place in 12 months' time? Or would you like to have benefited long-term from any discoveries that you've made about yourself or any positive changes that you've adopted? Is it just for January, or is it actually an attempt or a step towards adopting more sustainable ways of managing your health? So that's the first thing, really. And the second thing for me as a practitioner is to ask, would you benefit from some kind of support? What resources would help you sustain this kind of journey? Do you need, somebody who can hold you accountable, maybe? Do you need somebody who is going to understand the way that your body is working currently and what may need support, what may need nourishment right now in order for you to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve? That can be using something like homeopathy for sure, because remedies can support anything that you are aiming to do. And they're always very bespoke, very unique to you in that regard. And they're very gentle. Or it could be coaching. It could be a coaching session. Maybe you just need to get further clarity. Thank you very much for the hearts on that. Or is it actually that you've already identified that there's a really big pattern of behaviour that is not serving you, and that's what you want to release, that's what you want to change or transform in some way, in which case QTT is fabulous about that. Or maybe you just like to experience the Healy. So those kind of, and there are other resources, of course. You might identify that you actually would really like to see a qualified nutritionist, for example, or somebody on that score. Whatever it is, what resources could you access that would support you in achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve? And the last question to ask yourself is, do I want these changes or these new feelings that I'm identifying that I would like more of? Do I want them to last longer than just January? Do I just want them to become part of who I am and part of my life going forward? So that's it. So I just hope that whatever you're doing, that you're doing it with from an informed position, in a conscious way, and that it brings you joy of some sort, that it brings you health, of course, and that enables you to expand yourself and grow yourself in whatever way you feel is necessary. And if I can support you to do that, then I would be honoured. So do get in touch. You can click on the link with this video to have a look at my site, or you can book a free call there. And I would love to have a chat with you. If you just want to ask questions, that's cool too. Okay, have a lovely week. And if you're in Ireland or anywhere else where it's icy, mind yourself out there, because it's pretty icy today. And I think it's going to be like this for a couple of days. So maybe that's an invitation to really dig deep into that journal and explore your motives for any kind of detox further. Thanks for watching. Take care.